everyone, it's Eden, and I just finished my last day of Les Mills On Demand. Well, not my last day, you'll see moving on what I've decided, but my last day of my plus size trial to let you guys know if I think that it's a program that you should start or that it's accessible for people that are the fat, you know? So I decided to try Les Mills On Demand because I used to do Beachbody On Demand and I really love those programs. There are some things that I don't love about them, but I'll talk about that more as the video goes on. Leave a comment down below if you'd like me to do a full review of Beachbody On Demand. I used to use it pretty regularly and I talked about it a lot in videos, but I never did like a dedicated video for it. But anyway, on to Les Mills On Demand. So Les Mills On Demand is at-home subscription-based workouts. It's $12.99 a month, and depending on the time of year, when you sign up, you'll get anywhere from a 10-day free trial to a 30-day free trial. They offer a wide variety of programs from spin, which is pretty unique for at-home workouts. So even if you have a spin bike in your apartment gym, you'll be able to use that as part of the service. They have Body Pump, which is a weights-based workout, CX Works, which is a core-based workout, Body Combat, which is mixed martial arts. They don't do body jam, but they do a different kind of Les Mills dance is what they're calling it, but it's very similar to body jam if you've ever done body jam in gyms. They have Les Mills Barre, which is new to their whole portfolio, which I really like the Les Mills Barre, and if I'm missing anything, I'll list it out somewhere. So it's day 2/3, but day 2 of filming, and I think I'm gonna do a little bit of dance. To be quite honest, I am very sore. So I'm gonna go to programs. Tomorrow I'm gonna test the downloading it on your phone feature. So today I'm gonna do one more thing in the house. More videos. So we're gonna look for dance. So let's do Shabam. Les Mills are programs that I absolutely love. When I lost the bulk of my weight a few years ago, it was all doing Les Mills classes. I do 2 to 3 classes a day, which is kind of a lot. Don't do that. Just do like 1 maybe, because they're an hour long, the majority of them, other than programs like CX Works, which is a core class. That one's usually 30 minutes, but they're really great workouts and they definitely aided in my weight loss. I was my most physically fit after doing Les Mills On Demand, so I definitely love their programs. So here are the pros. Les Mills releases new episodes more often than Beachbody. The way that Beachbody works is they kind of make a program and then the program is set. They don't add new, like, episodes isn't a good word, but like new videos to the program. That's just the set program and you do it. So Les Mills On Demand, they do something called launch. So when you go to a standard gym, there is a launch week. So that's when they release the new programs. I think it's once a quarter, if I'm remembering right. So you're always getting new programs, and for me, a big part of working out is music. With Les Mills On Demand, you're getting current music so that you really get pumped up during your workout. I used to try to play music while I was doing my Beachbody On Demand workouts, but the problem with that is when you're playing music, sometimes you miss the cue to start the next sequence of your workout. So then you feel like you're constantly behind or not hearing what the instructor is saying. My battery is dying. One moment. Les Mills calls themselves scientifically based workouts that are very effective, and I do feel like their programs are extremely effective. Now, for plus size bodies, here's what I think. If you're already used to working out, I think it's a great set of programs to add to your at-home workout arsenal. However, if you're newer to working out, then there aren't always modifiers for all of their programs. For example, Les Mills Barre requires a lot of squatting with one leg. If you're not used to working out or you have some problematic knees, it's not going to be accessible for you. And there's not a modifier there to tell you what to do instead. With other at-home workout programs like Beachbody On Demand, they're always very mindful of that. There's always 3 levels. There's the trainer, there's the advanced person, and then there's the modifier. And even if the modifier is too hard for you, you can kind of look at them and say, how can I bring this down a notch? With Les Mills On Demand, there's not always that option, which I wish there were, because I feel like their programs are so much better. Like, they're so much more fun. You really get into these workouts, but they're hard to modify if you don't already know what you're doing. For example, Les Mills Dance. It was so much fun for me. I was able to do most things. Some of the jumping I cut out just because I live upstairs and I don't want my neighbors to kill me. But their dance video seems like it was just a video from one of their launch parties. It wasn't a video that was specifically made to be done at home. So there's no mention of like modifiers, and it's not really set up in a way for people to modify. The same thing with some of their body combat. It seems like it's all from launch parties. So it wasn't specifically filmed for Les Mills On Demand, so they don't have the at-home consumer in mind. It's more their audience that's there with them. So let's compare and contrast some of the workouts. So Les Mills Dance, for example, it's choreography heavy. So if you have danced before in your life, if you've been in cheer, if you've done anything like that, you'll definitely be able to catch on because it's all done in 8 counts. But if you're used to something like Zumba, where it's short little burst of movements, it may be a little bit harder to catch on to the choreography, and therefore you don't feel like you're getting, or you wouldn't feel like you're getting as much of a workout because you're missing so many of the moves if you're not good with choreography. I'm someone that's fine with choreography, so that wasn't a problem for me, but it's something that I thought that I would mention. I like that they have a variety of lengths, that they have 30 minutes up to an hour, so if you have a little bit less time, you can choose a shorter workout. They don't give that option in the gym. All of their programs are an hour with the exception of CX Works. Very body jammy. It was good. And I'd say the intensity depends on how much you put into it, with all workouts of course, but this one was shorter, less than 30 minutes, but I got a good workout. I forgot to wear my Fitbit. I felt really good. I didn't feel like crazy overwhelmed or anything. The only thing is there's a lot of quick choreography, and if you don't have any kind of dance background, which I do, but I'm not the best dancer either, so it can be hard to pick up. So then you might feel like you're not getting as good of a workout if you're not keeping up with the moves. And if that's the case, I'd say try Shabam first, master Shabam, then move on to dance. The only thing is I wish they had longer ones on there, kind of like the full class, the full hour, where you get the warm-up, the cool down, the active recovery. And this, it was kind of just like full-on cardio throughout, which is fine, but I do like the active recovery in a lot of the other workouts. So day 2, good sweat. I feel good. I'm gonna go shower now. I should have worn a bra. I did not wear a bra. There's lots of flopping going on, but this is surprisingly supportive, honestly. This one-piece suit thing, look at running down my nose. But yeah, day 2/3. I'm still really loving the workouts. I was really sore after yesterday. The leg track on Body Combat was really tough. So some of the like dipping down in this one, it was like, ooh, I'm already sore. But I do feel like I'm getting a really good workout in comparison to some other programs, and it's so fun. And fun is the most important thing. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Body Combat. Body Combat is one of my favorite workouts of all time. I absolutely love it. Again, I have the same critique. They don't have a modifier in a lot of the videos. So if you don't know what to do with like a cross jack, like me, I'd be like, okay, just do a step in, step out, step in, step out squat, you know, because it takes the same amount of time, but they don't have a modifier showing what to do. So I fear that if someone was new to working out, they may just like stand there until that move was over instead of knowing or having someone to follow. So day 1, I did a 30-minute body combat class, which honestly I have sweat in my eyes, so that means you worked hard. It was good. Like, I love that there was active recovery in it after like super hardcore like breaks during it, and it was modifiable. Like the whole leg part, they were doing like jump lunges, and I'm just not into it. So I do a squat lunge one leg back to a squat, lunge the other leg back instead of doing the jump lunges. It's just better for my body, better impact. Day one, I did a barre class, but I didn't film that. So what happened was I downloaded the trial and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this because I really love Les Mills classes when I was still working out in a gym. And I did the barre class and I was like, wow, that was amazing. I wanna do like a 7-day review. But I had already filmed and done the first class. So I was sore for like 2 full days after that barre class, and I was like, man, that was awesome. And that was a 30-minute class as well. They do have hour-long classes, which I'm gonna work up to during this whole filming process. But the first day, really good. Lots of sweat, boob sweat, sweat everywhere, sweat dripping, good sign. My arms feel good, tons of push-ups, but they start with a modified push-up and I just stayed with that push-up when they went to full push-ups. And yeah, really great. I love this one. I think it's very plus size friendly. Most of it's upper body, but you are kind of, you're sinking into your knees. So even though you're not like full squat or anything, your legs are active throughout the whole thing. So if you have like knee issues, a lot of the jabbing and stuff could work for you. It would just come to when you're doing the kicks, you would have to find some other kind of modification. I was fine with those except for the one leg kicks. I was not balancing very well. I was like, this is weird and terrible. Les Mills Barre was one of my favorite workouts. Just so fun. I felt like a ballerina. There were a lot of squats on one leg. It was fine for me. I didn't have any pain the next days, but it is balance heavy. So if you're like a wobbly person like me, I'm kind of wobbly. Some parts of it was hard because a lot of it is done with one leg planted and one leg in the air. So that's just something to keep in mind. I would consider it pretty plus size friendly. Just use a wall for balance if you need it. And if you're doing one leg squats and you feel any pain, just switch to a standard squat. It's gonna be just the same for you. Their cycle programs were so good. The music's pumping, the energy is insane. I feel like cycle is one of the really like accessible things for plus size women, and I've loved cycle for a really long time, so that was something that I super duper enjoyed on the program. I didn't feel like I had to modify at all. I didn't feel like there was a need for a modifier. The music was great. They had different lengths of cycle, and I absolutely love and suggest cycle wholeheartedly for plus size ladies, even if it's just like a different kind of bike that you have in your gym. It's not the spin bikes. I feel like you could still kind of follow along without the sprinting, which is the part where you have to stand up. You could just go faster and turn up your resistance during that and get the same kind of workout. So it's definitely something that you could do on different kinds of workout bikes, and it's fun to feel like you're following along with the class. So overall, I really loved Les Mills On Demand. I'm gonna keep it. It's $12.99. Beachbody On Demand, which is similar, is $39 for 3 months. So when you divide it out, it's about the same price. So if you've done Beachbody On Demand, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then just ignore this. So here are the differences for me. Beachbody is very aware that a lot of people that are working out at home are going to be new to working out, so they make sure that they cater and have a modifier available. And in some of their workouts, they even have a plus size modifier, so you see a body that looks like yours and you see options for you. Les Mills On Demand is more catered towards athletes. Period. They're not really worried about like inclusivity or that kind of thing. So you do on some occasions have to think of your own modifications, but if you've been doing something like Beachbody or workouts on YouTube on your own for a while, I think that you'll be able to find ways to modify. And like if it requires you to jump, okay, don't jump, just do the grounded version of the workout. And if it's like jump lunges, instead of doing that, step forward, do a lunge, step back, do a lunge, step forward, do a lunge, step back, do a lunge. You'll find efficiencies, but overall, even though Beachbody, in my opinion, is more accessible. It's so boring. Like, in comparison, it's so boring. The music is boring and outdated. It's hard to like play your music along with it and like still make sure that you're going along with the trainer. And then it's always kind of feels like a sales pitch during Beachbody, which doesn't bother me, but I know that that really bothers someone else, always having that Shakeology push at the end and all of that. You don't get any of that at Les Mills. Both programs are pretty even with equipment. There are some Beachbody products or programs where it's going to require you to buy equipment. If you want to do body pump on Les Mills at all, you're going to have to buy the full weight set, which is kind of a bummer because body pump's one of my favorite programs. But even though I have like a 25, 20, 15, and 10 dumbbell set, it was difficult to do body pump with those. So you really do need like the pump set. I mean, I guess I could go to my apartment gym and kind of make it work, but we don't have like, it's difficult. We only have the assisted squat machine and stuff like that, so it really wouldn't work. So some of the programs on both require you to have additional equipment, so that's something. But the music for Les Mills really gets you pumped up. The energy is insane in Les Mills. Like, you'll see once you start, you're like, wow. And I felt myself like really enjoying, really smiling during my workouts and being like, man, I feel great and accomplished and I love this. So I'd say if you're intermediate level, then Les Mills, intermediate level plus size athlete, that Les Mills On Demand would be something that you would really like. But of course, this is just my opinion. Do the free trial. They don't charge you. Do the free trial. See if you like it. See if you can find something at your level. They do kind of do videos that break down different moves so that you're prepared going into the programs. So if you do the beginner videos, like that breaks down like what jab crosses are, that breaks down what cross jacks are, that breaks down different kind of movements within the program, if you do those, I think you might be more prepared if you're in between beginner and intermediate. And then their yoga body flow, I didn't talk much about that, but I really like the body flow too. It's like it's not quite power vinyasa, but it's not quite hatha, so it's just like a standard vinyasa class. So their body flow is great as well. And I think that's all that I really need to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and review on Les Mills On Demand. And if you have any other fitness programs that you'd like me to try out, I know gym intimidation is a huge thing, and sometimes it's just a lot to walk into a gym, or you don't feel like you have the time. You probably have the time, but you don't feel like you have the time and you just want to do your workouts at home. That's totally cool, but I want you to, you know, be able to hear someone's first-hand account before you spend your money on these programs, and be able to see someone with a body like yours doing the workouts, so you know, like, if it's possible for you or not, you know? I think that that's really valuable. So Les Mills On Demand, I think it's definitely great, and I can see that they're consistently adding new things. They're a big company with a big reputation. I really like them, and it's not like multi-level marketing, so you don't have to worry about that kind of thing. If that's something that turns you off, it doesn't really bother me. But yeah, I think that's it. I talked about accessibility, I talked about music, I talked about like if they have the build up so that you can work on things and learn the moves and everything, and modifications. So if you ever have modification questions when starting one of these videos, shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'll shoot you a video back on how I would modify it so that you can get through your workout confidently, because that's the key. And after you do them at home for a while, maybe you'll want to step into a gym and get the energy of a full group class. You never know. And if you're in Austin, I'll go to a group class with you. I love them. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, remember to keep an open mind, keep an open heart, practice unconditional compassion, but don't take shit from anyone. I love you guys endlessly, and I hope you love yourselves even more. Get out there, move, enjoy it. Bye.